Today we're going to bring our X570 AORUS. It's a Gigabyte motherboard. We're going to take a look at it and see what you get. So this is this is a Ryzen chip that's going to go in there. It's socket 4 that we're going to do. Now the best thing I like about this one, it has two M.2 slots. There's plenty of slots for everything else too, and I like that the IO shield is included with it on the side of it. If you guys can see, these are all the actual USBs that we're gonna have: regular USBs and 3.0 USB, also HDMI, wireless display, and also audio connections. All right, and if you guys see in red, we're gonna have a 3.1 USBs on there, right? So pretty much you have yourself covered in there. Now they give you plenty of slots for your actual video cards, all right? And you could use either or, but this is the one that everybody uses because of the actual extra reinforcement that you have in here with the actual metal piece that you have here, which is aluminum. Now here's where you're actually gonna set up your M.2, your first M.2 if you want your main one. So we're gonna take a look at it right now. We're gonna open it up. This is where you're going to actually put your M.2, if you guys can see that. That will be the M.2 area, and you go as high as 80 millimeters in here, all right, and as low as 42, all right? So that's not bad. You got plenty of space. All right, my suggestion when you get the motherboard is that you add your screws in there so you won't lose them, all right, if you ever want to do the secondary M.2. All right, we're going to put our M.2 NVMe. The 980 here is a 2 terabytes. It's going to be our main drive for the actual system. And then we get the little screw. Make sure you cover them all up, the screws, right? Make sure they're in there. So we're going to lock it in place it down, lock it here. So we have this part of it. Now on the actual thermal tape that's built in here, just remove the actual system here. And this is going to be the one that's going to lock in the back, if you guys can see that. So to lock it in place is very simple. It's going to go all the way to the back here, embed in here, and just remove this screw here in the back. This is our motherboard set up already with the M.2, 2 terabytes. We're going to go ahead and install Windows after we install it. So let's talk a little bit more about the actual motherboard itself. We're going to set up a CPU also too and remove all the plastics. Just make sure that if you don't remove the plastics out of the thermal tape, it's going to overheat. We're going to set up a couple RGB lighting connections that we're going to do. We're going to do a water pump, and then we're going to put a 4090 installed on the actual motherboard. So the motherboard is really good, really light. I like it. It's a huge motherboard. Wish I had more slots, to be honest with you, because I want to install another couple of other options that I have. But great options that you have, that you M.2 M slots in here. And of course, your connection for the Type C 3.0. And then your motherboard has a regular connection. We're going to go install this today. All right, when you're setting this up, you got to be careful because this is not an Intel chip. This is a different CPU that has the pins, and if you bent the pins, you might mess up the motherboard. So first of all, what you want to do is make sure you raise this up, right? Make sure you have that ready, prepared, because what you're going to do is place it in place. Now, there is a little triangle. We're going to zoom in right now. Now, there is a little triangle in place, and that's where you're going to have to find that triangle that's in the corner here, right? And that's going to go embed in. That's it. When it drops in, it's perfectly has to hit every single hole that you have in there. So right now we're going to just drop it into place. We're going to open it up and set it up. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, we're going to set it up on the actual corner. So we have our little, if you guys can see, there's a little edge here, a triangle here, and that goes into this corner here that we have to set it up, right? So let's go ahead and put that in place. There we go. Make sure it's not moving when you move it around. And it's a lot thicker than any Intel, all right? There it is. We got it in place. Then we're going to close it up. All right, make sure it's there. Close it up. When you close it up, lock it in place, and that should do it. Now, test. Flip it around. It's locked in place, all right? Now, that's the most dangerous part, just flipping it around. If it falls, that means you didn't do a very good job. So we did the right corner. If you guys can still see the little chip there, all right? So we're ready for the next steps. We're going to set up the water cooling on it. We're going to put our motherboard in. Put this in place here. There we go. Got the clearance. Perfect. All right, so right now we're going to add the memory next. I'm very pleased with the actual build. Here's the finished product, guys. The motherboard, I'm not too thrilled about it, but you know, I wanted to put this extra USBs in here because I do need a lot of USBs, believe it or not. 99.6 of you are not subscribers in my channel. I hope that the content helps you out and that you find it very useful, and I hope you hit the like and subscribe.